Short time no see for another update. So hopefully this is a little bit shorter of a video, but a lot of good news and like very little bad news. The bad news comes with that guy right there, right in the background. But overall, everything else is fantastic. For the first time in a long time, this car feels absolutely amazing. Last time I talked, I gave you guys all the spiel of what was going on, having figured out most of the issues. So, rather than sticking with the cap that I had, which was the cap that came with the actual radiator, so the Koyo cap, I was using it, did perfectly fine, but it also is 5 years old, so I figured why not replace it. So now people really know not to mess with me because I've got the radium expansion tank cap or coolant cap, whatever you want to refer to it as. It is where it's supposed to be, and the coolant temps are fantastic. That it doesn't climb very fast at all, but it gets to about 163, 165, and then it kind of plateaus, even with city driving. So 35 to 45 miles an hour, still slow to rise to 180 if it even gets there. Like, I don't know, the airflow is good, or that cap was just, the caps that I was using were just completely worn out and obviously in the wrong spot, so temps would climb like sky high, fans would be overactive, blah blah blah. But now I'm actually seeing the benefits of airflow, and it's kind of funny because being the Formula One fan, I'm always like, why does it matter that they're following cars and blah blah blah? They're gonna get hot anyway. But no, when driving this car, even in the city, especially on the highway, but I can notice the airflow. It definitely gets hotter when someone's in front of me, and when I have just clear air, like the cooling effect is absolutely phenomenal. So it's amazing. Like, temps have even gone down on the highway, which is wild, or they've just stayed the same. But so yeah, I got that down there, and then just as a small update for the interior, I did take the seat out because, and excuse the mess over here, but I was going to install this, if y'all remember. But I found out that my car, and I'm not going to dig deep down in there because I would have to go to the throttle pedal, but I have to look up the manufacturing date. But otherwise, I learned something new, and the company might have learned something new as well, that obviously the throttle sensors changed from 06 to 07. However, there must have been a mid-year changeover because I have the more compact 07 Plus throttle sensor on the throttle, and the kit that I got did not work that way. And this is me being dumb. Maybe you guys will all see me as being dumb, or you'll learn something new as well. But I guess the 06 throttle connector down on its sensor is the exact same connector that the drive-by-wire module uses. So I thought I had solved the issue. However, that's a high input, and the throttle one is a lower input. So me not being knowledgeable about electronics and signals and all that stuff, I learned something. So I immediately called up the company. Well, didn't call them up, but I chatted with them, gave them an update on what was going on, figured things out, and lo and behold, like, I called Thursday when the guy was out of town, came back in town, got back to his warehouse or shop on Friday afternoon, and before UPS closed on Friday, he had already shipped out the new module. Absolutely amazing customer service. So hopefully when that new one comes in, I'll get that installed and we'll be good to go. But I did take the seat out, and I lowered it 1 notch in the front and 2 notches in the rear, just so I felt like I was driving my truck, and that's not very sports car like. So I did that, and I gave it a little bit of a tilt backwards as well. Not very noticeable, but it's there. But now I can still see perfectly fine, but it feels a whole lot better. And now I just need to figure out how to get the anti-submarine belt in there, or strap in there, so I can be fully strapped into the car. So there's that. The problem that I just finished solving was the scraping noise that was going on. So I had the car on jack stands, but I took it out last night for a test drive to see how everything was going, and everything performed flawlessly. What I used to get was a lot of it was intermittent. Used to get a lot of scrubbing noises, and it was just like worse than chalk or nails on a chalkboard. Not very nice. And then whenever I would pull in backwards here, you could hear it, especially when it dipped down. You can't really tell here, but the land does tilt just a little bit downward, and he would always screech right there, and it's not good in the middle of the night, so the neighbors all hear it. And then when I would turn the wheel to the right to back up, it would always like, it felt like I had the e-brake on. Obviously I didn't. So I got underneath the car and looked at it. I was like, everything looks normal. The rotor does jiggle around. I don't know what that's all about. And so I got under the car and started, moving things around. And what I noticed was that the passenger side CV axle, both of them were fully seated, but the passenger side CV axle did not jiggle. There was a little bit of a jiggle in the driver's side. So I was like, what the heck could cause that? Got back, and lo and behold, it's in the trash now, so I won't show it to you. But the little indention, and see if you can see it there. Yeah, the little indention that you're supposed to put onto the nut, which you can see right there. Not to insult your intelligence or anything, but that had broken off, and the nut was starting to slowly come loose. I don't know when exactly that happened. Could have happened on the track, because on the track I was getting squishy brakes, and on the street I was definitely getting that. But regardless, it was able to turn pretty effortlessly as long as I had a ratchet on it. And so went out, bought a new one, tightened that up, redid everything, went out for a test drive. My brake problem was solved. No longer do I have a squishy brake. It's pretty responsive and stiff. 2, no more scraping and no more, resistance, feeling like I'm on, I have my e-brake on when I'm in reverse. And lastly, the alignment is back in order. Before, it was all, the wheel was slightly tilted to the right, so that's taken care of as well, which all that feels amazing. The car is ready for VIR on the 19th and the 20th. I just got to change over to these brake pads, those rotors in the back that you see there, wheels right there in the back as well, and it'll be good to go for the track. Also have to install that new blip module. That'll be interesting, because that's going to be my first time, if I don't get help from the shop, to actually do some wiring on my own. But now to bring you over to what this issue is. So it's been out in the rain and whatnot, and humidity's gotten to it, so there's a little tiny bit of mold going on. So I cleared out the entire trailer, sprayed it down with some vinegar, and hoping that that'll solve any issues that I got going on. I do need to do some maintenance, because it's got kind of rotted down there, as you can see, and it's also rotted up here. Just overall, I need to get some maintenance, neglectful of it, which is bad. But I mean, yeah, I need to recaulk it up top as well, because I think that's where, well, obviously that's where most of the moisture is coming from. But I think I'll take care of that. There wasn't much, so I sprayed it down like relatively quickly. Okay, that's all. But otherwise, everybody, that's all I've got. Next up is the blip module, and the car is ready for the track. Like, it feels so much better than it has, and just driving it around, I fell in love with the feeling of driving this thing around town. Like, it feels solid again, and it's been quite a while since it's felt like that, so it feels good. Anybody that has not had their car feel 100% for a while will understand what I'm saying. But otherwise, it's just normal maintenance. Got to switch out the spark plugs, got to do an oil change, and I'm going to also change the rear diff fluid just in case, just to have fun with that. And then after this track event, I'll do the transmission, or the gear oil for the transmission as well, and that'll be it. So I've also got, you can't see it in the, but I've also got, boom, right there, Gymkhana exhaust just kind of standing there. I'll get that installed when I as well, just to have some fun with it on the street. But until next time, y'all, that is all I've got. I'm ecstatic, happy the car finally feels good, and I'm just ready to get it on track and try to best my current lap times. All right, y'all, until next time, stay driven.